In this recording, I'm going to give you a quick overview of crosstab queries. Crosstab queries are very powerful. If you've done Excel, if you've done the intermediate Excel class, you've done pivot tables. Excel crosstab queries are pretty much the same thing as pivot tables. What they allow you to do is to take the unique values of two fields or more, usually it's two fields, and cross-tabulate them, meaning calculate statistics based on how they correlate. For instance, I'm going to create a crosstab query. When you create crosstab queries, I normally use the wizard. Okay. Now I did notice when I was in query and design view, let me just test something here real quick. Might as well put it in the recording, won't hurt anything. Create a query and design view. I want this based on the orders table, so I'm going to close that. And then right here is a crosstab query, and I'm curious to see if the wizard comes up. It does not. So I don't recommend that. It takes a little bit of practice, and I'm not even that far along with my practice and access to create crosstab queries from scratch. I prefer to create them using a wizard. I only use the wizard for three things: crosstab queries, find duplicates, and unmatched queries. We'll talk about these two in another recording. I want to do a crosstab query. The wizard helps me out here. The wizard first says, which table do you want? Or which query do you want to base this on? I think I want to base this on my query pizzas that has customer names in it and sizes and a bunch of other stuff. So you can, again, create queries based on other queries if they already have that stuff in there. Problem with crosstab queries is you cannot create them over multiple tables. So if you need one field from one table, another field from another table, you'll first have to put them together in a query and then use that query as the foundation for your crosstab. Okay, so I'm going to use query pizzas. Here's the fields. I want to, and now the next question is, what do you want for your rows and what do you want for your columns? What Access is going to do is find all of the customer names, and it's going to create a row for every single customer name. Or if I make it a column header, it'll create a column for every single customer. And then in here we can calculate statistics. I want to create a customer by size. How many large pizzas did each customer order? How many small pizzas? How many medium pizzas? How many child pizzas? That's what I want to know. How many for each customer? When you're trying to figure out what goes into rows and what goes into columns, my advice is this: take a look and think, how many unique values are there for customers? Potentially hundreds. How many unique values are there for size? 4. Whichever has the most, the largest number, make that the rows. So that's where we're at right now. Which value do you want for row headings? I want the customer name for the row headings. So all the customers are going down here. If you wish, you can add multiple row headings and you'll get groupings. I'll leave that for you to experiment. It's not part of the homework assignment. I've never done one. But just like in pivot tables, you can have multiple row values, and that'll create some even more interesting results. In our case, we don't need it. Right? Then what do you want for the column headings? I want the size. So across the top, we get the different sizes. So here's each customer, large, medium, small, and there'll be a column for child as well. And then finally, what statistic do you want, and what is it that you want the statistic based on? I'll just use the order date, and I want to count how many order dates there are. Often if you're doing a count, it's often done on an ID field, but that ID field is not included in this query, so I can't use it. So I'll just count the dates. Next. What do you want to call this? Let's call this query size by customer. And the book recommends you put crosstab in here, but as you'll see when I save it, crosstab queries get a different icon, and so they're actually categorized separately. So after a while you get used to that icon, you know it's a crosstab query. And here's my results. Here's Emmett Aikman. He's ordered one pizza, a large. Notice we automatically get a total. You can remove that anytime you want to, either deleting it here, or there was a checkbox in that last dialog wizard box that gives you the option of leaving this out. But I think in this case it's good. What is the total? And we can change this title by going back into design view and say this is the, here it is, let's just call it total pizzas. It's just a label. You could change its caption. You can change that. Probably should put an S on it. And now it's total pizzas. And this is what a crosstab looks like. Notice that every single customer name is included. Every single size is included. And then there's a total. So what a crosstab does is it takes the unique values from one field and the unique values from another field. Always takes two fields and cross-tabulates them. It also gives you the opportunity to calculate a total. If you'd rather have the total at the end, you can do that. If you'd rather have these in the right order, large, medium, small, child, you can do that. And before they were alphabetized, we can rearrange them. It's not a problem. And Access will remember that stuff. All right, so those are crosstabs. Let's do another one. Let's close that, save it. Again, I go to the wizard, and I do a crosstab. This time I still want customers by size. So again, from that query. But this time I want how much money are they spending. So I'm going to use query pizzas. Okay. I want the customer name. I want the size. And it looks like, you know what, I don't have the order total here. I wanted the total. Don't have it. I have a coupon percent, but I don't have a total. So I'm going to have to cancel that. And I'm going to have to go into my query pizzas in design view and add the order total to that. Quick solution to that problem. Save it, close it, build my query one more time. Design view, oops, click the wrong button, close that. No, I don't want to save that. Use the wizard. There we go. Crosstabs, same query. I double clicked it. Customer name, double clicked it. Next. Size. Next. And this time I want the order total and I want the sum. So there are all these different kinds of statistics that you can calculate. You can count, you can create sums. Unlike, or just like pivot tables, it is hard, if not impossible, to create multiple columns, multiple different kinds of statistics, just one. So if you wanted the count and the sum and the average, that would be very difficult. In one query, that would be much more difficult to do. Let's call this one query size or total cost by size by customer. And now there's my totals. And they're already formatted, so that's nice, and I could reformat them if I want to, but I can then do that. I can now sort. So again, I could rearrange it, but we saw that before. I can sort by the order total to have the largest on top, and I can see who's spending. Tom Cruise is obviously spending all his money with us, so that's good to know. Send him some coupons or whatever. Okay. These are the order totals. That's after the coupon's been removed. So that works out quite well. Okay, so that's crosstabs. Let's do one more. Let's say that I want the average coupon by size. What's the average coupon amount for mediums, larges, and so on? Unfortunately, if you listen to that, there's only one field there. There's two fields. Okay, there's the average coupon. That's one field. And there's the size. That's the second field. With crosstabs, there's always three. Customers, size, and then the count of the dates. Customer size, the total of the order. There's always three fields. There has to be three. There has to be rows and columns and a statistic. So the fact that this one, I want the average coupon by size, only involves two fields tells you it's not a crosstab. It's just a regular aggregate query. You might remember the aggregate queries that use statistics, sum, average, whatever, from beginning access unit 3 queries. And so I'm just going to use query design this time to solve this one. It's still using that pizzas query. Close it. And I want to know the size and the average coupon. I don't have the coupon value, so I guess I better use a different table. So I'm going to delete this table, delete it, and add a different table. I'm just going to bring in the orders table because it has the size and the coupon value for me. Size, coupon value, and I want to generate statistics. I want to group by size, so I want to have an average coupon value for every size. You might remember these from beginning access, and there's my answer. The average coupon for child pizzas is $2.37, $2.64, $2.70, $2.69. You know, this may be a little high for those child pizzas. You get a coupon, you order a child pizza, and you got a coupon, you can almost get it for free. So we might, again, this tells us some things that we can use to analyze our data and make some decisions. But not all tables that generate statistics are crosstabs. Some are just aggregates. If there's only one field, it's an aggregate. If there's two fields in a statistic, that's a crosstab.